What's up, guys? I'm making this little video right here mainly because I've been sharing this information with a lot of good friends of mine's, family members, and sometimes it can be a lot to try to explain something to a person one by one. It just takes up a lot of time, which I don't have, and I really am passionate about it, and I feel like this can help a lot of people. So I'm putting together a little video just to kind of explain what I'm seeing here and what I expect, and also just what I believe is a big opportunity for all of us. And the way the world is going, man, I was looking at some charts today that are showing how like our generation, millennials, are like some of the brokest generations in the world, and it's just because of what's going on, like with inflation, and like we have low wages, everything is so expensive, like people really can't make it. A small percentage of people are going to make it, and I really do believe that people that are investing heavily and people who are investing in general over sustained period of times will be winning. So especially if they're investing in disruptive assets, I believe that we have a huge edge, and a lot of people haven't caught on to this. So I hope that you pay attention to this video, and I hope you get some sort of golden nugget here. And once again, this is not financial advice. This is just me sharing some information. That's it. So the video is titled "Why I'm Stacking Tesla Hard," and I'm stacking hard because I know what's going on. I see an opportunity, and let's go into what they got going on real quick. They got AI and robotics, FSD, cybercab, and energy storage. And a lot of people, they make the mistake of still thinking that Tesla is a car company, right? And I just learned that they're making 30 grand per Cybertruck right now profit, which is pretty crazy alone on a car. But people haven't even understood the amount of money that's going to be made on AI and robotics alone. Like the fact that they're making robots plug into AI, you're talking about an opportunity. I mean, you see it right now already. The cash registers, like you go to I just went to Target. There's one guy in 20 like self-checkout lines. Like soon enough, and a lot of these people that are working there, I don't know what's going on with humans, but they don't even want to work. They don't want to be there. And you ask them something. I go to Home Depot for my business all the time, and people don't even want to help me. They're just kind of annoyed that I asked them a question. What's going to end up happening in the future? AI and robots, they're going to come in and they're going to take people's jobs. That's the reality of it. There's already robots taking people's jobs today, but I think it's going to end up being like just a higher scale of it, like we've never seen before. So think about it. Why wouldn't a company buy a robot that can generate them money, that won't complain, that's going to work all the time? So you got to understand that Tesla, soon enough, like I'm sure they're going to be using these robots in their own facility at the first, like in the beginning. But after this, what's going to happen when they start selling that? Like that's something that we haven't even seen before. Once again, like you can't even put a price on that just yet. So we don't know how much profit I mean, imagine if these robots end up being so durable that they last 30, 40, 50 years and take little to no breaks and are working who knows how many hours. You can't put a price tag on that, right? Number two, FSD, the self-driving. Like, come on, guys. During COVID, we got to see how big transportation was because people were still making money, like transporting everything. They needed a drive, right? So what happens when 18-wheelers are driving themselves and Tesla is the motherboard that is sending them off and making profit on all of these? That's a lot of money that's going to be made on top. And don't get me started with the fact that they're already proving pretty much that FSD is safer than humans driving. And I drive every day, and I trust a robot more right now than humans, man. These guys out here, some people are crazy out here, honestly. I live in Houston, Texas, and man, these streets are rough. Like, you got to come in here like ready to cut people off, and it's just not fun sitting in traffic. And I know that soon enough, when FSD starts just going all around and getting to the point where it just drives everyone, it's going to be crazy. And just think about how much money that generates to Tesla as well when other car companies end up taking on their FSD as well. Imagine they'll be able to buy FSD from Tesla alone. So not only are they selling cars, they're going to end up having robots, they're going to end up having 18-wheelers, but not only that, they're going to sell the full self-driving system to other car companies. See where I'm going here? Let's go to the next one, cybercab. I don't know if this is true, but I recently heard that Uber was trying to partner with him, and Elon Musk was like, nope. Why would he? He's going to about to have cars that he can make for super cheap that are going to drive themselves. And we're not, like, think about the revenue that they're going to make from taxi services, but imagine the revenue they're going to make from marketing, from all sorts of other things. Imagine having a huge fleet that's just generating money all the time. Tesla's going to be a money printing machine, to be honest with you, in the near future. And I'm hearing, I keep up with this stuff, and the more and more I see it, I think it's crazy. Look, you can sit here and complain and be like, oh my God, they're taking all of our jobs. Like, what are we going to do? What are we going to do as humans? I get that, but there's nothing that we can do to stop it at this point. What are we going to do? Go to war? Like, come on. Like, guys don't even know what gender they are. You think we're going to go to war? So, like I'm saying, like, one of the things that you can do is actually invest in these disruptive assets. And you know, a lot of people that are big in investing, they understand that our money is losing its value. That's going to be another thing. But so one of the things that you can do is just start stacking this if you know where it's going. I got to witness Bitcoin going from 3,000 to 8,000, Tesla going from 20 to 200 to 400. You name it, all of them, right? We got to see it. We got to see it. And what happens? People are investing over a long, sustained period of time. That's the move right there. I'm just sharing it with you because I think it's really important. And if you're relying just on your job alone and trying to have just a small income from your job and save and save and save, it's not going to be the way. Because the way that, look, I'm going to move on to the next one. Energy storage. I'm starting to see all the commercials right now. Like, I mean, here in Houston, we get hurricanes pretty often, or at least really bad storms, and all you hear is them generators going off, and we lose power just practically for nothing. This is a whole other untapped business, and I've got to see some financials from some top people, and most of the money that's going to be made from Tesla isn't even going to be from the cars anymore. It's going to be from all these other avenues that they have. The fact that they're partnered with SpaceX from the same ownership, and then Grok, their whole AI thing, it's mind-blowing, to be honest with you. And the fact that we just got a 50% retracement on the price we're so blessed. All right, so that's a little bit about the products and services or whatever. That's, I mean, what they got going on. But I'm going to move on to the next part right here, which I know you probably can't see this, but as long as you're listening, you're good. Money printing. People don't realize that they are printing. The world banks are printing money like never before, and I never understood this. I recently learned this a few years back, and I felt like so dumb not knowing this. A lot of people are like, everything is getting more expensive. It's not that it's getting more expensive. They're printing more money, and when they print more money, by default, everything has to go up because there's just more money now. Does that make sense? So all the assets, stocks, houses, everything goes up. But what's going on with our incomes? They're practically staying stagnant. We're going up by 2%, 3%. We're being robbed straight in our face. And I'm just sharing with you guys that this is going to continue to happen. I live in the United States, and the United States alone is pretty much in a debt spiral where they're just going to have to pretty much lower the rates and keep printing money. That there's no other really solution at this point unless they push a whole new financial system. But they're going to continue to print money. And the more money they print, the more houses go up, the more real estate, real estate goes up, land, all that's good stuff, everything goes up, and stocks goes up. So the more money they print, the higher Tesla stock goes up as well. And because they're doing so much and they're going global, right now they just launched in India, and I believe they're doing things in India, they're doing things in China, they're doing all sorts of stuff, and this is a global business. Check this out, 8.5% of global liquidity was added this year. So pretty much what global liquidity means is all the money, pretty much all the money in the world. Our money supply went up by 8.5% in 3 months this year, in 2025. You're not going to hear about that on the news. So what does that mean? That means that everything's just going to continue to go up. So instead of having your US dollar, which is losing value every single year, I'm telling you, your money is losing value every single year. So even if you have money in a savings account and you're like, I'm good, I got my 10 grand, my 20 grand in savings account, every year it's losing value. One of the guys that I follow, his name is Invest Answers. His name's James on YouTube channel, Invest Answers. He studies this like crazy, and his numbers are crazy. He's saying that about 12%, like our money is losing about 12% of its value every single year. So that means if you follow this, that means year one, you got 10,000 saved. Actually, you lost $1,200. So you actually have 8,800 in what it was. And if you go back in history and you see what a house used to cost versus now, you'll see how this is playing out. The US dollar's lost I've heard 90% of its value already. So it's only going down over time. So one thing you can do is start investing in stocks, buy real estate. But what I'm doing right now is I'm buying Tesla. Tesla's one of my plays, one of my long-term plays. And I'm not talking, oh, buy this and short it like a little bit later. No, I'm talking about buy and hold long-term. That's what I'm doing. And that's what I'm going to continue to do until I reach my goals. All right, next, another big thing. I just read that there's about $84 trillion that is tied in with baby boomers and the generation that was ahead of before them. I think that's the people from like the 1920s. I don't know the names. I apologize. But $84 trillion. What happens when all the baby boomers die off? Unfortunately, this is what's going to happen with time, and it's a sad reality, and it's going to happen to us too. But that $84 trillion is going to end up getting passed on to the next generation, which I believe is Gen X, and then it's going to be millennials. But obviously, 84 trillion is not going to get passed on because the government's going to get in there and take as much as they can. And one thing I've learned in life is that if you didn't actually work for it, most of the time you're going to end up losing it. Like if you inherit things, that's why a lot of people when they fight for land I'm Mexican, my family's Mexican, and it's so common for families to fight and practically almost kill themselves over land. And it's so funny because if they didn't deserve it in the first place and they didn't work for it, because the person who worked for it had the dream, had the vision, learned how to do it, they got it, so they respected it, they loved it. The next generation, they just end up selling it or end up losing it. Like it's all in here, it's all in the mind, right? So what I'm saying is, let's say it's 84 trillion. A big percentage of that is going to end up going to the government, and then another percentage is just going to end up getting lost. But what's going to end up happening? Do you think the new generation, the millennials, are going to be investing in old Warren Buffett companies? Probably not. They're probably going to be investing in Tesla, in cryptocurrency. So what do I mean by this? More money is going to end up going into Tesla as well. So that's just going to make the price go up over time as well. So not only do we have the money printing going on, and not only do we have a business like we've never seen before where they're making money from everything, practically everything, that's like they're pretty much got their hands in the biggest market, in my opinion, moving forward in the future. And we got all this money once again coming into it. I mean, it just makes sense. It just makes a lot of sense. So I've seen people with price targets from 6,000. I've seen all the way up to 12,000, which I think is crazy. To be honest with you guys, it is mind-blowing. But I remember seeing people say, oh, Bitcoin's gonna hit 100,000, and I was like, bro, you guys are crazy. I remember seeing it at like 10,000. I'm like, bro, this thing needs a retrace. This price is insane. We hit 100,000 this year, and that was not that long ago. So I'm not saying it's gonna happen, but what if it does? What if it does, and you watched this video, or you knew about the potential with Tesla and you didn't do it? Sucks to suck, but I'm just kidding. But I'm just letting you know. I'm just doing this just in case, and it makes sense. It makes sense. The whole world is attacking Elon Musk right now. They really are, and I mean, I'm not gonna get political at all with this. They're over there attacking and doing all this. All they're doing is allowing people like me and a lot of other people that are trying to make it buy Tesla at a cheap price. So thank you guys, honestly, because of you guys, because of all you guys that just are hating instead of just trying to be like, you know what, let me position myself so I can set myself up. Like instead of being like, we're gonna attack this person. That's not how you make it in life. You don't win by taking other people down. And if you do, it's short term probably. So, but yeah, let's just assume. I believe it'll hit 2,000 for sure. For sure. I don't know what year. I'm not saying this is going to happen next year or 6 months or 2 years. I know it's going to end up hitting $2,000 at least. At least. So what if people are saying all the way up to 12,000. Let's just say it goes to 8,000. Let's say at 2032 it goes to 8,000. And you're watching this video and you look back on this video 7 years from now and you're like, "Oh my god, I watched this video and I did nothing about it." How are you going to feel? You're going to feel it's gonna suck. It's gonna suck. So I'm just here to share this with you because what I recommend doing is being like, you know what? What if that does end up playing out, right? I'm not saying go ham and put all your money in this. Absolutely not. But I'm saying set a goal for yourself. Be like, you want to know what? I want to have 100 grand by 2032 in a investing account. Okay, so if you want to have 100 grand divided by 8 grand, how many shares is that? It's probably what, 12 point something? Say it's 13 shares. 13 shares today. You want to know what's the craziest part, guys? I was going to make this video last week and Tesla was at 220. It's at 270 this morning. Sucks, but let's just say it comes back down at 250. I'm hoping it does. That way more people can buy more. But let's just say right now, 13 shares by 250, it's going to cost you $3,200, $3,250 to potentially get to 100 grand. And if you want to think bigger and it goes to 8, let's say it does go to 8 grand, you want to hit a mil, that's 125 shares. And you can do the math on that. But what I say is just set your goal. Like, you want to know what number is the number for you and figure out, okay, let me start maybe doing $10 a day or $20 a week or whatever works best for you. But I'm not going to say how many I'm going for, but figure out what that number is for you and take advantage of this opportunity, because what if it does? What if it does?